You're right, Sam. I've something. It happens it's on my behind. A boil as 'ud make Job be jealous. It hurts me no end when I sit. Says I go to hospital, missus. They might have to cut it a bit. Says she, oh, I hates to be showing the part of my person it's at. Says I, don't be fussy. Them doctors see sights far more horrid than that. So missus takes off, togged up tasty, and there at the hospital door, they tells her to see the house doctor, whose office is room 34. She hunts up and down till she finds it, and she knocks, and a voice says, come in, and there is an handsome young feller, all white from his heels to his chin. I've got a big boil, says missus, and Sam, that's my husband, has asked me to ask you to cut it a bit. Then bravely she plucks up her courage, and bravely she shows him the place. He gives it a proper inspection, with a heap of surprise on his face. Then he says with an accent of Scotland, what ye hae is a bile I can feel, so you better consult the head doctor. They call him Professor O'Neill. He's special for biles and carbuncles. You'll find him in room 63. No charge, ma'am. It's been a real pleasure. Just tell him you're coming from me. So Mrs. she thanks him politely and hunts up and down as before till she comes to a big handsome room with Professor O'Neill on the door. And once more she plucks up her courage and she knocks, and a voice says, all right. She enters and sees a fat fellow with whiskers, all togged up in white. I've got a big boil, says missus, and if you would kindly permit, I would like for to have you inspect it. It hurts me like all when I sit. Then blushing as red as a beetroot, she hastens to show him the spot. He says with a look of amazement, sure, ma'am, it must hurt ye a lot. Then he puts on his specs to regard it, and finally says with a frown, I'll bet it's as sore as the devil, especially when ye sit down. I think it's a case for the surgeon, so you better consult Dr. Hoyle. I've no hesitation in saying your boil is a hill of a boil. So Mrs. she thanks him for saying her boil is a hill of a boil, and hunts all around till she comes on a door that's marked Dr. Hoyle. But by now she has fair got the wind up, and trembles in every limb. But she thinks, after all, he's a doctor. I mustn't be bashful with him. She's made of good stuff as a missus, so she knocks, and a voice says, who's there? It's me, says my Bessie, and enters a room which is spacious and bare, and a wise-looking old fellow greets her. Andy, too, is togged up in white. Hastens to show him the place. He stares at it kind of surprised like and gets very red in the face. But he looks at it most conscientious from every angle of view. Then he says with a shrug of his shoulders, poor lady, I'm sorry for you. It wants to be cut, but you should have a medical bloke to do that. You see, ma'am, this part of the building is closed on account of repairs. Us fellas is only the painters, painting the halls and the stairs.
I love those poems. Those are good.
Isn't that great? She doesn't want to show it to even the doctor, and she shows it to all those painters.
I like
All
those.
right.